Climbing My Grandfather by Andrew Waterhouse. If you have very young members of your family, or if your friends have, you will know how toddlers love to climb and clamber over people. This poem takes this common behaviour and uses it to create a close-up, intimate and warm poem about a grandfather. Throughout, the grandfather is compared with a mountain and the child a climber, working their way from the foothills of the grandfather's shoes to the summit of the top of his head. This extended metaphor makes the older man seem imposing and admirable. It also presents him as permanent and steadfast. On their part, the speaker/climber is free climbing without a rope or net, which gives the impression of boldness and daring, as well as giving them greater freedom to roam where they like. This climbing metaphor is reinforced further by the poet's use of specialist terms linked with activity. Along the climbing route, there are clues about the grandfather's personality. His shoes, brogues, are old-fashioned and well-worn, indicating his age. His dirty hands suggest a love of gardening or some form of manual work, further corroborated by the splintered nails. There is a hint of something more disturbing, with the mention of a scar and old stitches. It's worth noting how the climber is gentle at this point, perhaps because they don't wish to trigger a disturbing memory. Consequently, the climber moves on. His age, Mount Grandfather, is not crumbling yet, and his warm and welcoming character is conveyed through the shade he provides and his smiling mouth, which refreshes the speaker. Furthermore, as the climber stares into the grandfather's eyes, depicting the close connection between grandparent and grandchild, they are unperturbed, even serene. Finally, at the summit, where the grandfather's white hair is reminiscent of a snow-capped mountain top, the climber is finally able to relax and embrace the safety and love of his elderly relation. It is abundantly clear that the speaker loves his grandfather, by the frequent fond use of language culminating at the end with a simple but moving tribute to his grandparent's good heart, bringing the ascent and the poem to a satisfying and pleasing conclusion. As the climber is likely a child, it's not surprising that there's a childlike wonder to the lines, which detail his or her fascination with the physical details of their grandfather. They clearly enjoy the climb too. The physical closeness of the two people reflects their ease in one another's company and their emotional link, which is simple and unconditional. In addition, the effort the climber puts into the climb, they pause for a rest mid-climb and are exhausted by the end, is perhaps a demonstration of their commitment and how they are working hard to bond with their relation. This in turn conveys a deeper appreciation of the grandfather and the desire to get to know him better. Whilst Climbing My Grandfather is about the grandparent, it can still be usefully connected to the other poems in the Love Relationships collection, which focus on parent-child relations, such as Walking Away, Mothering Distance, Before You Were Mine, Eden Rock, and Follower. In particular, the affection in Andrew Waterhouse's poem can also be discerned in the lines of Simon Armitage's, Caroline Duffy's, and Charles Causley's work. A further link could be made with I Think of Thee, which also makes extensive use of an extended metaphor linked to nature.